What's up, everyone? Today we're doing a list that I quite frankly find weird because it's a bald people tier list. Yeah, and our friends here, Joe, Donald, and George, choose me to do this list because I am supposedly the closest to bald head you can get, but we all know Joe got a hair transplant and Donald wears a toupee, but whatever. It might be even good that it's me since I will be the least offensive person of the group when it comes to rating people in any way, shape, or form.
Put some respect on the Don's name, and I already proved that it's not a toupee years ago on that libtard Jimmy Fallon show. I just take care of my hair so much that it looks too perfect, and you think it's fake. I prefer to keep it tidy and perfect, unlike Joe, who basically never washed his hair past the age of 9 or something like that.
My old eyes ain't what they used to be, but I did not see a slightest bit of your hairline in that video. It actually seems like these hair are floating above your scalp. What the hell?
Trump's questionable hairline aside, let's actually start the ranking of some celebrities who don't fool themselves and just take it like a man and shave it all off. And first one is Tony Fantano. And I remember that this guy used to be serious critic, and his reviews were kind of the general public view, but when he gave My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy a decent 6 out of 10, and Beyonce's country album 8 out of 10, that's when I lost my shit. He can't truly hope for anything better than a D tier from me, and he's possibly the worst bald person from this list. But we need to wait for some more ratings to see if that's true.
Okay, man, but look at it that way. She's hot.
No, she doesn't hold a candle to your bunda. She would need to combine the force of Nicki Minaj and Cardi B to maybe fuse something like your thick ass.
Joe, I didn't come in here to hear some old fart drool over my butt, so go and get some fucking help. But like I said, she's hot, so that kind of validates the rating. You can believe me that I would go for a Beyonce cowgirl, if you know what I mean.
You're vile. I won't spend any more time on your disgusting fantasies and we'll move on with the list. And Dean Norris is a phenomenal actor, and even Breaking Bad alone proves it, and he is a really chill guy. And he provided us with his brain rot era when he read basically whatever was sent to him for small price. So he's a certified S tier all around. And you might The Rock is also S tier, but I don't agree. You see, his WWF, then WWE stuff was amazing. He is a great entertainer. He also was decent in movies, but as time gone on, he became more PG and more fake, and he's been openly lying about everything. So I just can't rate him with all honesty at anything higher than B tier, even though I have massive respects for what his career has been before he became an empty husk of a celebrity.
Oh, it's my boy Jeff. We might have had some disagreements in past, sure, but now we're chilling and we both know all about making paper, so you better put some respect on his name.
Dude, that guy's a lizard.
Okay, and so is Obama, so that is only more of a reason for him to put his lizard brother in the S tier.
Yeah. How funny you are, Donald. Anyway, I will be putting Bezos in the D tier because this greedy fuck would sell his own mother if that was the only thing that could save him from not being a billionaire.
Yeah, tell him, Barry, eat the rich. Donnie, I want to eat you up. Come here to Papa Joey.
If you do as much as start going in my general direction, I swear to Mama that I will orbital strike us right away.
Yeah. So settle down, both of you, and J.K. Simmons is a phenomenal actor. He's been in countless movies, and he also voiced many of his famous cartoon characters. Most famously, he is obviously J. Jonah Jameson in the Spider-Man, but he also voiced Omni-Man in Invincible, and he was Ford Pines in Gravity Falls. He also played in La La Land and BoJack Horseman, and I could keep going on. And the crazy part is that he nailed his every role. This man might be the best actor on this list, but I am not sure yet. He's definitely an S tier, and I can't say the same about Rogan.
Why not? I enjoy tuning into Occasional Joe Rogan podcast. Definitely not the one with Trump or Vance because I am sick and tired of them just blabbing on about tariffs and wearing suits on Oval Office, so I skipped that one, but most of them are fine.
You want to throw hands? My and Vance's episodes were, quite frankly, the best, the very best of them all. Some would even say the best in the world, and I was hoping that he would expose that bitch Kamala, but she of course got scared because her Bluetooth earrings couldn't hold battery for long enough because his rules were like, what 3-hour-long episode, I think? Do you really want a president who can't even speak for himself for longer than 10 minutes?
Trump, get over it already. The elections are over, and you won. You don't have to talk about her because it is just disturbing now.
Haha, Donnie fell in love with Kamala Mama. I can't blame him that she's a baddie and she's a dommy mommy when you get to know her.
Trump, the only reason you can talk for so damn long is because you spew so much bullshit, and all you did in the interviews is to just roast Kamala and Joe and then talk about how you would turn world into this beautiful war-free land. Oh, and by the way, I didn't forget about how you promised us that you will end the war between Russia and Ukraine in the first 24 hours after taking the seat. I even think you said that you could end it in the first 24 hours after being elected, but I am not sure of that, but by any measure, you lied.
It's not my fault that Ukraine elected a fucking unfunny comedian for a president whose biggest performance was playing piano with his fucking schlong.
Let's start shit.
What the hell did my eyes witness?
Oh man, if he would do that performance in White House during my term, I would increase military aid for Ukraine by at least 300%. What an absolute artist, the legendary Ludwig van Beethoven Dick.
I don't even know how we got from talking about Joe Rogan to seeing Zelensky playing piano with his genitals, but I refuse to fuel it any further. Rogan is going to the C tier, and that is because he originally was one of the best podcasts. Like, he was racking in millions, inviting exciting guests, including many big celebrities, and having deep conversations with them that were just free form. No timer, no determined topics before broadcasting, just being real. But later on, you could feel the toll all the conspiracy theory geeks took on him during his career, and all the crazier guys he invited made him lean more and more into that side. And I think he's been trying to convince Matt Walsh, one of the episodes, that the moon landing was fake, and he was going on and on about it for a majority of the episode. It was easily over an hour.
Who cares about Baldilocks over here? Now get my boy Finger into the motherfuckingest tier!
Joe, it's my list, and I can rank them wherever I want. And I'm going to assume we aren't talking about Mike, as in the character, but about Jonathan Banks, and that dude was born not even a year later than Donald, so he was on the big scene since the 80s. And of course, his biggest role was during Breaking Bad universe, and in the Better Call Saul, he truly shined, but that's not to take away from his other roles, because he had some variety. His first bigger role was on Wise Guy, and he had hair back then, and you don't recognize him so easily, trust me. He also was in Modern Family, but not a real important character, I believe. And again, you can look up his career, and he definitely has a remarkable career that most actors only dream about. So yep, I don't know if he isn't even better than J. Jonah Jameson, but I will put him up there in the S tier and won't be starting any wars by choosing one of them.
Stop forcing yourself to try and look like you're a chill guy. We've seen what your ass did in Middle East.
I just rolled one up before coming here, just so you wouldn't make me lose my mind like I did in that Vice City episode.
Okay, but back to the list. And I think it will be the most obvious S tier coming from Barry. I mean, it all depends who is your favorite player, because Jordan Glazers would put LeBron in D tier and LeBron Glazers would put Jordan in D tier. So let's not start any arguments and just start talking about the next one. Barry?
Great idea, George. So Pitbull had a really big fall off in sales, but I always see him selling out decent venues and going on tours all around the world, so his fan base is still very much alive. For all the party music he gave to us, I have to give him S tier. Man, I hate to see the list being so full of S tiers, since it takes away from the meaning of S tier. But all these bald guys are just fucking awesome. Because Samuel L. Jackson doesn't even need any explanation behind his S tier ranking.
I personally love how we got to kill his cop character in GTA San Andreas.
You got all the great highlights of his career and you chose freaking GTA? I mean, you do you, man, but that seems odd as hell.
Okay, Barry, I'm sorry, but the next two are another S tiers. I mean, Steve Harvey is the best Family Feud host of all time. I remember that Family Feud was falling off, and he basically single-handedly saved it. And I can't be sure if I am seeing it right, but if that next guy is Terry Crews, then it's also up there because he did what Kanye couldn't. He beat his porn addiction and saved his marriage. I mean, such a person as Joe Dog doesn't need to, and I just incorporated into my marriage, but I can understand his situation.
I know that it might sound weird, especially since it came out of Joe's pewtered mouth, but I never in my life seen a man who got addicted to porn and recovered. Like, the mind strength you need to actually do this is incredible. I just made myself occupied, and I was raised on Playboy, so to be honest, I don't like visiting those sites often.
I will put Steve Harvey in A tier and Terry Crews into B tier. Now, don't get me wrong, I am a fan of those guys, but there is just not enough in their career to cross that path to the upper echelon.
I will actually crucify you, Barack.
Yeah, I'm sure you will, buddy. And for the last rating, we have Vin Diesel. And I don't know, we wouldn't have Fast and Furious if it weren't for him, but I don't really enjoy seeing him in a movie, but I'm not going to hate on a man, so C tier is a place for that. And it's also a place and time to shout out our friends who support us the most by buying a membership, which is basically a monthly subscription you can get for just a couple dollars a month or several dollars, depending on who you like the most. And in return, you get a badge that is visible in your name when you comment under a video or any post of ours. And you have a couple of emojis, but it's mostly just a way of supporting us. And we thank you all for that. So shout out to OMG, it's Birdman Archive, who is our first member, by the way, and to the latest Zuba Sandwich.
And shout out to my N-word, Jacob the Big B Bowling.
And of course to K31 owner who probably misses the gas prices that we had under my terms.
Shut the hell up, you war criminal, and let me talk. Shout out to Roulette1330, and we will see you this Saturday with a second Lego Star Wars episode.
Subscribe to Oval Office Gaming right now, or Barack will go get your oil with his drones.